Yo, what's up, dudes? I know I always come out with some controversial shit. Some people agree with what I say, some people don't. But what I love to do is get information from the scholars themselves and let everybody break their heads. Because one of my main goals is especially to dissect us from the old played out religious ideologies and the way they sell us our historical information, which is totally false. And it's such a joke that I feel like, I feel compelled to like point out these aberrations, all right? And one of them is that I put the post or the email that the tainos never existed. And in plain truth, that's exactly what it is. The tainos never existed. Now, when I say that, do I mean that the people that the archaeology is proving were there didn't exist? No, that's kind of silly. If you dig up a hole that hasn't been touched for hundreds of years and you find somebody there, that person was there. But what I'm saying is that that person wasn't a Taino, okay? Now, here's a book, okay, that I've been studying amongst other sources of information, and what it's based on is not only the Taino language, but like this book says, languages of the pre-Columbian Antilles, okay, and I studied a lot of the glossary and indexes to a lot of these Taino languages. And what they give you is the breakdown, like, like Boriken, Bohike, like Bohike, meaning a spiritual shaman and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Bohio, meaning a hut, like, or a ceremonial hut in some instances. Okay, now, within studying this language, I've come to the conclusion that the Tainos, as they call it, never existed. Okay, now how can I say something like that? All right, so let's break it down. Okay, so what I've learned from this book is that you got to grab what they call phonetic forms. Phonetic forms, meaning like the word Taino. It got 3 syllables. You got ta, e, and no. Or you could break it up, like a compound word to say tai on one side and then no on the other side. Or you could put it another way, like to say ta on the one side and ino on the other side. And then you look for other words that associate with the same meaning so that you could collect these phenotypes and put together a language source. And that's what they've done over and over. The guys got graphs, and a lot of these graphs are available on the internet. Okay? So now, when I grab the word ta-ino, I look for the first suffix, which will be ta. And when I look down and I scroll through all of these indexes and glossaries and dictionaries of the Taino language, all I come up with is ta means her, or female form. So then when I move on to e, like to say, I broke it up into 3 syllables, ta, e, no, so I'm about e as like the letter I. What I have found is that that means a river or grass, or another, like part 2 of that definition will be the near or east. Okay, so ta, e so far is her river or her grass or her near or her east. Okay, and the word no, I haven't found anything. I'm not saying it don't exist as a suffix, ta-i, no, the suffix no, but I personally haven't found anything. So far I have her river as far as Taino. Now when I look at the whole word Taino as though what it means in these glossaries and stuff like that, give me 1 second here and I'll find it. Alright, Taino means good. That's all it means, good. In this glossary, in Wikipedia glossary, in a lot of the Taino website glossaries that I've looked at, Taino means good, okay? Now, good, good. So then how is it that the land is associated with that? Like to say I'm Irish and I come from Ireland because it's Irish. Or I'm French, I come from France because it's French and it's France. So where does Taino come into Borinquen or Puerto Rico? Well, obviously we're not talking about Puerto Rico, we're talking about pre-Columbus, so we're talking about Borinquen. So I did the same breakdown phonetically like I learned to do in this book, okay, of the word Borinquen. Now the way they break down the word Borinquen, the word bo, or the syllable bo, and then you got the syllable ri, and then you got que, okay, not necessarily with the N yet. The way they break it down is bori, B-O-R-I, as one phonetic form, and then que, K-E. So it's bori, que. And bori means native people. So the word bori, B-O-R-I, means native people in this glossary and in other glossaries that I found. For a glossary, it could be dictionary, it could be whatever. And then the suffix que means large land or mainland. Other definitions are available which include homeland. So when you describe the word Borinquen, the homeland of the Bori people. So we Boris, like Boriquens. We Bori. You know, like when you have inquisitors or you have hostile people coming at you, people that are doing wholesale murder on your people, wholesale slavery. They're just coming at you with a bunch of technology you're not familiar with, swords and armor and all kinds of propaganda, and they're coming to get you. You know, it's just like the police coming right now. You know, if a police coming, they roll up on your squad. What are you going to do? Yo, it's all good here. It's all good. Like, you know, they're teaching you the difference between right and wrong with their Christianity. So they got like evil and good. And you want to present, like, you know, with this language barrier, you want to present all that's good. So I can imagine these tainos just screaming out, like, you know, like, it's all good, you know, all is good, all is well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, what's going on over there? Everything is good, you know what I mean? So taino to you, okay? But when you look at other sources for the definition of Borinquen, they give you, other than this breakdown, they give you this huge, what I would, you know, interpret as a huge European definition, you know, just to suit themselves. I mean, you know, when I do this phenotypical breakdown of the word taino, the only thing that I can make a comparison to, consider the cryptic history in Puerto Rico, would be the word Latino. You know, which is the father of Ladino, which is the father of Greek, which is the father of all kinds of other languages. But I mean, you know, when you look at Taino, you know, I see it more relative to the word Latino and the people who use the word Taino to describe the people they were looking at. But by doing this research, I could come to the conclusion that these people didn't consider themselves the tainos, because they didn't exist. They were the Boris. Peace, Boricuas. Argue with me.